And the doctor is in, and today our topic is New Year's resolutions. Every year, so many people vow they're going to lose weight, they're going to quit smoking, and resolutions, they're hard to keep. You have good intentions going forward, but a lot of times after day 4, you're like, the heck with this. So we brought in Dr. Scott Ackerman. He is one of the First Coast leading doctors. He is here today with a few resolutions that you can try to adapt to your everyday lifestyle, because these are ones that you say you should really try to stick to, and they're not very specific, some of them. I mean, some of them are so, you try to say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 3 days and, come heck or high water. And those are just unrealistic. But these, like your first one about food, these are just good rules to live by.
Right, and these are ones that will get you beyond day 4.
Okay,
hopefully
yes.
These resolutions get you through the year. They're not things that you're going to start to do and then give up after just 3 or 4 days. So the first resolution is about eating. And I'm not just talking about changing the way you eat and having less sugar and less carbohydrates and less calories, but it's talking about changing the way you eat in general. Perhaps think about eating smaller portion sizes. Think about reducing your sodium. You know that salt, which has sodium in it, can lead to increased risk of hypertension, can lead to increased risk of heart disease. There are lots of salt substitutes that don't have sodium in them, that taste very good and add a lot of flavor to food. And also snacking. This is a pet peeve of mine, and we've talked about this before. Snacking, and people feel it's just a habit. They always want to put something in your mouth.
Even good snacks? Like, what about the celery and whatnot? I mean,
well, celery's okay,
yeah,
but people sadly don't snack on celery.
No, you're
people
right.
snack on candy bars. And
the Thin Mints that Ann brought sitting in the back office right now. Thanks, Ann.
Right,
yes,
thank you.
Yes, those are
Girl
really
Scouts.
good. Yes, they're great. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's what people tend to snack on. So instead of snacking, think about eating. So you want to eat your 3 meals a day, but if you're hungry between meals, instead of a snack, have a small meal. Celery would be a small meal. A candy bar wouldn't be a small meal. A sandwich would be a small meal. So have some small meals in between if you really feel the need to eat additionally during the day.
And this second one is so important. And some people say, I'm going to do it. This is the year that I'm going to do it. And then they ultimately don't do it. And how important is it for people to finally quit smoking?
Well, tobacco is responsible for 1 in 5 deaths in the United States. Not just cancer, but heart disease and pulmonary disease. Regarding cancer, we know that tobacco, everyone knows about tobacco and lung cancer, but tobacco is also related to a lot of other cancers that we don't always think about. Cancer of the throat, cancer of the esophagus, cancer of the stomach, cancer of the rectum, and cancer of the bladder are all related to tobacco use as well. Smoking is on the decline. Less people are smoking today than previous years, but there's a lot more deaths that can be avoided by people quitting smoking.
Yeah.
And
it's an easy thing to do. Well, I shouldn't say it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah. But it's a really preventable thing. It's something you could do to minimize your death risk. And if we eliminated smoking, our society would have a longer life expectancy.
Yeah, which is the ultimate goal. Next one you say is to stay active, which is one of my goals, is to get up and do more and to get off the sofa, especially when I get home after work. It's just like you want to sit, and it's just not healthy. Well,
this resolution is activity. 30 minutes of physical activity per day. Doesn't mean you have to go out and spend money in joining a gym. I don't want the gym people getting mad at me, but you don't need to join a gym to be physically active. I saw a patient earlier today, and she was fretting about her weight gain. I suggested some exercise, and she told me she couldn't afford to join a gym. But there's other things you could do. You could take the stairs instead of an elevator when you're at the office. You could go for a walk around the block. You could try taking up jogging. And 30 minutes a day doesn't have to be all in 30 minutes. It could be 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, during lunch. Take the stairs up the building. All those things add up, and they'll add up to 30 or 40 minutes a day. Even try yoga. I like to do yoga, Casey. I don't know if you knew that.
I know, we talked about this. I had a bad first start with yoga because I did hot yoga. The first time I've ever done yoga, that was not a good idea. Nick. So, but yoga is good exercise? I thought it was more for relaxing, or are there different forms?
No, there's different forms of yoga. Yoga is good for flexibility. It helps people with arthritis, with fibromyalgia. It gives them better peace of mind, and it's very good for you. And
it's all part of that staying active. The next one, you talked about this earlier in the year, how important it is, especially for us ladies, getting the beauty sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep.
That we all need.
Yes, we all need.
So 30% of Americans get less than 6, of adults, American adults get less than 6 hours of sleep every night. And really, an adult needs a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sleep is not a passive process. Sleep is an active process that helps your mood, it helps your appearance. There is such thing as beauty rest. It's crucial for consolidating your memories. It makes you a smarter person. It gives you more energy. People that don't have enough sleep have higher incidence of obesity, higher incidence of diabetes, they're more irritable, and they have other medical problems as well. So get your sleep.
And hey, you don't have to ask me twice, or tell me twice. I will love getting my sleep on the weekends. And then, last but not least, health screenings.
Yeah, finally, health screenings.
Okay.
You know, the beginning of the year is a good time to take inventory of the health screenings that we talk about all the time and schedule them for throughout the year. You don't need to do them all at once. A lot of people don't schedule their health screenings and they get kind of swept under the rug. But schedule them at the beginning of the year. So if you're 18 years and older, you should get a physical examination once a year. If you're a woman, you should be sure to get a pap smear and a pelvic examination and a breast examination every year. Once you hit 35, start thinking about your lipids and your cholesterol, and you should have a cholesterol check or a lipid check every couple or 3 years. Once you reach the age of 40, regular eye exams are important because you can identify glaucoma. Women should be getting their mammograms if they're regular risk. If they're high risk, maybe a little bit earlier, but regular risk, women should start getting mammograms annually at the age of 40. At 50, men and women should get their first colonoscopy. And men, if they're at average risk for prostate cancer, should have their prostate checked with both a digital examination and the PSA. These screenings are important not just to diagnose diseases, and I'm not just talking about cancer, I'm talking about diseases in general, hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, all those things. We can find out if we are predisposed to having these diseases. We can make modifications in our lifestyle or make modifications in our diet now to prevent these diseases from happening. So we're not just diagnosing things earlier, we have ways to prevent diseases and prevent these diseases from causing an untimely death.
Yeah, well, knowledge is power, and so go in and get those screenings. And those are good, I think, very doable New Year's resolutions. So
Good.
thank you
Well,
so
Happy
much.
New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you guys, too. And thank you so much for coming in. Sponsoring the segment, Dr. Ackerman is with us every Friday. And next week, we're going to be talking about migraines. That's funny because I had one after the top of the show. It's weird, Nick. For questions regarding today's topic or any other health questions you might have, just visit firstcoastoncology.com and confidentially submit your questions to Ask the Doctor. Again, it's firstcoastoncology.com.